In today's video, I'll talk about the hidden ecosystem of mold, bacteria, and mineral scale quietly accumulating inside the warm, moist interior of your favorite kitchen appliance. We completely rely on these machines to kickstart our mornings, right? But beneath that sleek exterior, well, there's a complex environment that demands a whole lot more attention than just a quick wipe down. Okay, let's dive into this. Really think back for a second. When was the last time you gave your Keurig a truly deep, thorough clean? And I definitely don't just mean wiping a coffee spill off the drip tray. I'm talking about getting right down into the internal mechanisms. Neglected machines don't just produce bad-tasting, bitter coffee, they actively harbor bacteria. It's this visceral, hidden problem that just builds up cup by cup, day by day, completely out of sight. Unless you're looking for a side of penicillin with your morning roast, we really need to talk about this. The reality is, the exact design that makes your brewer so incredibly fast and convenient, the internal heating element and those water-retaining tubes, comes with a major trade-off. That constantly warm, moist interior creates literally the perfect conditions for unwanted microbes and mineral buildup. It's crazy because most of us completely ignore this trade-off, at least until our morning brew starts tasting a little distinctly off or the machine just flat out stops working. We've got to treat this appliance with the exact same hygienic respect as anything else we use to prepare our food. Section 1. Washing removable components, daily and weekly maintenance. So let's start with our absolute easiest line of defense to stop mold dead in its tracks before it even starts. There's this huge debate out there about whether you can just toss the parts into the dishwasher and call it a day. Let's break that down. Components like the cup holder, the drip tray, and the water reservoir lid are generally completely safe for the dishwasher, though you definitely want to put them on the top rack to avoid the intense heat from the lower heating element. But here's the catch. The reservoir body itself is highly susceptible to warping from high temperatures. If that plastic distorts even slightly, you're going to end up with permanent leaks. To preserve the material integrity of your tank, hand washing is universally recognized as the gold standard. In fact, as dishwasher expert Charles M. Wilkins points out, automated appliances can just be way too harsh. The safest, most effective way to clean that reservoir is simply with warm, soapy water and a non-abrasive sponge. Or, if you need a deeper clean, try a mixture of equal parts water and white vinegar. Just let it sit for about 30 minutes. It'll safely dissolve any buildup without compromising the plastic one bit. Section 2. Unclogging the needles, restoring brew pressure. Now we're moving deeper into the machine's anatomy, addressing the actual mechanical components responsible for brewing your coffee. Have you ever noticed decreased performance? Maybe slower brewing times, half-empty cups, or those really strange sputtering noises coming from your brewer? If you have, the culprit is almost always right here. The entrance and exit needles are these sharp, hollow tubes located at the top and bottom of the pot holder. Their job is to puncture the K-cup to let the water flow through. But because they're hollow, coffee grounds constantly get jammed inside them, which completely chokes off your water pressure. Luckily, the fix for this is incredibly straightforward. First things first, always unplug the brewer. Then remove the pot holder and separate the funnel. Next, just unbend a clean paperclip. You'll use this to gently clear out the debris in both the bottom exit needle and the top entrance needle. Just be super careful because they are really sharp. Once they're cleared out, reassemble the parts and run 2 water-only cycles to flush out any remaining loosened grounds. And this brilliantly illustrates how a simple paperclip and some water can completely restore your machine's brewing pressure. Section 3. The descaling process, tackling internal scale. We've handled the exterior and we've cleared the mechanical clogs. Now we enter what I like to call the boss battle of maintenance, tackling the internal scale buildup hidden deep inside the boiler. The crucial thing to remember here is this time frame, 3 to 6. You absolutely must perform a full descale every 3 to 6 months. And honestly, if you're a daily user, you're looking at every 3 months for sure. Every single time you brew, hard water minerals, specifically calcium, are getting baked onto the internal heating element. Left untreated, this scale will permanently clog the internal plumbing and literally destroy the machine from the inside out. When it comes to the chemical agents used to melt away this scale, you really have 2 main choices. On one hand, you've got standard white vinegar. It's a fantastic, natural, and incredibly cheap alternative. The downside, though, it can sometimes leave a pretty lingering taste that requires multiple, kind of tedious water flushes to completely remove. On the other hand, you have commercial descaling solutions. These are scientifically formulated using optimized acids, things like citric and glycolic acid, to break down the scale faster and with way less odor. They do cost more, but they are highly efficient. Whichever solution you go with, the procedure is definitive. You power off the machine, empty the reservoir, and pour in your solution, so either the whole bottle of commercial descaler or 16 ounces of vinegar, followed by fresh water. Then you brew the largest cup sizes without a pod until the add water light comes on. But here is the most important step, and it's the one people always skip. You absolutely must let the machine sit, powered on, for 30 to 45 minutes. This soak time is totally crucial. It's literally the only way the acid can properly dissolve those stubborn calcium deposits. After the soak, just wash the reservoir and run at least 12 freshwater rinsing brews to fully clear the system. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is looking at how this is handled at the enterprise level. Official commercial guidelines for deep cleaning kits are used in big offices and restaurants, and at that level, sanitation is taken incredibly seriously. They use specialized solutions and strict protocols. Treating your home machine with this exact same level of respect and methodology is really the secret to making it last for years and years.
Section 4. Troubleshooting and Maintenance. Solving Common Issues.
So, you've put in the work, you've descaled the machine, but sometimes the machine just flat out refuses to cooperate. You know the exact feeling. You just spent an hour cleaning and that annoying descale light refuses to turn off. It's a massive pain point. When this happens, it generally means one of two things. Either the internal piping is actually still heavily clogged with scale that's restricting the water flow, or the machine simply didn't register the clean and the manual reset procedure was somehow skipped. If you're totally confident you completed that crucial 30-minute soak and you verified that all the needles and drains are clear, you can actually force a reset. For many standard models, here is the exact sequence to save yourself from ongoing frustration. Power the machine on, then press and hold the 8-ounce and 10-ounce buttons together for exactly 3 seconds. This manual override will very often clear the light and get you right back in business. Official commercial sanitization protocols actually emphasize weekly cleaning of high-touch surfaces and removable parts. And this brilliantly illustrates our core theme here today. Consistent, proactive maintenance prevents these extreme clogs and persistent warning lights from ever happening in the first place. But if you're in a really dire situation, say the pump is running super loudly but absolutely no water is flowing, here is one final, incredibly satisfying troubleshooting hack. Take a large syringe or a turkey baster, fill it up with water, and forcefully flush it directly into the water reservoir's drain right at the bottom of the machine. That sudden rush of pressure will literally push out stubborn, built-up scale particles, releasing the blockage and completely saving your machine from the scrap heap. Section 5. The Clean Brew Resolution. Perfect morning coffee. We've uncovered the hidden ecosystem, dismantled the machine's anatomy, and fought the ultimate boss battle of descaling. Regular maintenance isn't just some mundane chore. It is the absolute guarantee of a perfect, pristine cup of coffee every single morning. It all comes down to a choice. The knowledge is in your hands, and the tools, whether that's a paperclip, some vinegar, or even a turkey baster, are probably already sitting right there in your kitchen. So I'll leave you with this provocative question to think about. Will your next cup of coffee be brewed with beautifully fresh water or last month's mineral scale? Go unplug that machine and let's get cleaning.